Hi, Rick Harsh. Today's booktube is actually going to be a promotional deal for www.coronasamizdat.com. And I want you to go there now and buy books. Because we need people to buy books. The thing that's been coming up lately, again and again and again, in many different ways, is the Chandler Brossard coup that our press pulled off. This is how it started. I was reading Stephen Moore's My Back Pages, and I read a chapter about Chandler Brossard. And I thought, God, this guy is right up my alley. I mean, like the Henry Miller of the latter half of the century. And boy, was I wrong, because Henry Miller books are available everywhere. Chandler Brossard's, I found one copy at the time for over 2,000 pounds at some English site, and nothing else. Everything was out of print and unavailable. So I wrote Stephen Moore. He wrote the book, best critic in the United States, and he knew Chandler Brossard, and he worked very hard to get him known, published, and I could go on and on about that, but you don't really want to hear that. What you want to hear is what came of it. Well, the first thing that came of it was this book that I cannot convince people to buy, even though it's the best book I've ever read on Vietnam, along with the nonfiction book by Gabriel Kolko, a historian, but probably the best book on Vietnam. It's, let's see, what does he call it? Of the growing body of Vietnam fiction, this book has to be one of the most bizarre literary responses to the war and one of the most damning indictments of the American sensibility responsible for that war. Now that's very dry and true. But the reason what he says is bizarre. It is bizarre, and it's charmingly bizarre. Is it surreal? Well, it's surreal. I don't know. It's always been difficult for me to figure out how to write surreal fiction, or what surreal fiction is. Surrealism and fiction don't go easily together. So I don't know if it's surreal. It's cartoonish at times. But the amazing thing about it is that within the wildness and hilarity of Brossard, you get such accurate information as the fact that John F. Kennedy, about a week or so before he was killed in Dallas in 1922 on Dealey Plaza, he ordered the assassination of the Zim brothers, who were running the artificial South of Vietnam. And so he was a murdering son of a bitch, and he got murdered. He also tried to kill Castro so many times that I often kind of hoped that it was Castro who got him. But and he gets, there are probably 20 names in this book of people who were war criminals, and of course will never be known as such. Next book we put out by him was the extraordinary, probably one of the top 5 20th century novels, in my opinion. Wake Up, We're Almost There. An incredible book. We put that out next. And that's a 20-euro book. This is a 10-euro book, pocket book, see? And then we have this one here. I'll just read the first sentence, which I've done many times, but I would buy this book based on this sentence. This book kills fascists. introduction by Zachary Tanner. He wrote some terrific introductions to these books. I wrote a mediocre one to the first one, Raging Joy, Sublime Violation. Man cannot live by equivocations alone. He's a brilliant guy. And, but you don't often get that brilliance slapped in your face. You should. You need it. I swear you do. I wouldn't do it. I'm not a violent guy. And maybe I'm not brilliant enough. But Brossard is. I keep forgetting you're over here. Yeah, that's you. Okay. Sorry, I keep looking to that person next to you. But maybe that's the guy with the money, or the gal with the money, or the girl with the money, or the woman with the money, the lady with the money, the mama with the money. Anyway, whatever it is, you're going to need some money. But we weren't done, because Brossard, who's best known for The Bold Saboteurs and Who Walk in Darkness, wrote 2 novels that were better than both of those as a sort of lead-up to his breaking free in order to write these 3 books. Okay. What did he write? The Wolf Leaps, about a horny pastor in Harlem. A terrific book. And then he wrote, where are you? All right, don't go away. I'm coming back. The one book that I cannot believe has not sold more, The Double Dealers. This is a brilliant book with a brilliant introduction, the best I've ever read, by Zach Tanner as well. Great cover, and it's got a fantastic afterwards by Brossard's daughter. It's extremely good. Each one by themselves is worth $10, and the book is $10. So you're getting $50 worth of book, or 40, depending on how you count. I count differently on different days. This book is worth $40. And this is not the career of Brossard, and we're not done. We're not done with Brossard books. But people are not buying these. Well, actually, when I say people are not buying, I don't mean that they're sitting on the shelves doing nothing. They conspire. And these 2 have each sold a good number, but not nearly as many as I thought. I mean, this is groundbreaking stuff. Nobody on the planet besides us is selling Chandler Brossard, but not enough people know about him. But now Stephen Moore has come out with a book about his years at Dalkey Archive, and he's got a chapter in there, I believe, on Chandler Brossard, in which he mentions our press, and that'll sell some books, I'm sure. But before that happens, I would like to offer you a deal. You buy all 5 Brossards, and you get 2 pocketbooks free. Which one is worth the most? In my opinion, this is worth the most. But I just proved to you, if you call that proof, salesman's proof, that the Double Dealers is actually worth more. And then again, The Wolf Leaps is probably the most popular of the 3, and rightly so, in its way. If you don't give a damn about the Vietnam War, well, it probably means that you're either too young or too old. But damn, there's just nothing like this book in the literary universe. Nothing like it has ever been written. So you get 2 free. That's these are 20 a piece, so that you're already spending $40. But the more you spend, the more you save on postage, sort of. And postage is too high. Nothing I can do about that. But you buy these 2, you're going to get these 3 free. And And I think I can get it all into one package. And so it would be about 21 for postage. And you can tell yourself you got the fatter ones free if you like. So you're getting quite a deal. You're getting all of our Brossard collection for 50 euros plus postage. That would be like getting our whole Brossard collection for a few cents postage. That's a pretty good deal. You're not going to get a better deal. Not today, you're not. If you'd like, ask me questions about Brossard. I'll send them to Zach and he can answer them. One of the funniest and probably the most brilliant writer I've read in the United States, 20th century. Melville could be just as funny, but Melville was of a different era, so he wasn't as wild. In his time, it was pretty wild what he was doing. But 20th century, I think there's there's probably nothing to do. I don't know what Brossard thought of Henry Miller, but I think what I would say the difference is Miller never wrote the giant books, even though he could have. He did write 3 very big books, but he was in his more socialist realist state when he wrote Sexus, Nexus, and Plexus. Luckily, his social realism had a lot of sex in it, at least in Sexus. Nexus and Plexus were, they were interesting enough, but not nearly as much sex. And the sex is what was great in Henry Miller's fat books. In his other books, the prose was electric. Black Spring, don't overlook that. I think Tropic of Cancer is his best, but Black Spring has some of his best writing. And Tropic of Capricorn, I think you could do without it, frankly. Try Colossus of Marusi instead. But we're not on that. We're on Chandler Brossard. We're looking to get more. Not that there's a lot more. There's a lot of scattered stuff that we may put back into book form. And there is a book that was never published in his lifetime that's at a library somewhere in the Northeast. And I don't know what the status of it is, except that we haven't been able to procure it or even get it. So here you have it. Chandler Brossard, 50 euros, all 5 of them. I'm going to try to turn this off now, okay? No?